What's happening? Anyways, top of the blessings. Fucking freezing. It's like 3 outside. But anyways, that's not the point. My point for today is, sorry, I'm often distracted and I'm trying to find things while trucking. Again, I was pondering. I don't know what I'm gonna title this, but as well as it's spiritual, but it's also physical, it's financial, it's metaphysical, it's mental, it's literally mental. Most things are actually mental. Psychological effects that have a physical effect to you one way or another, and a spiritual effect eventually. The issue that we all need to be aware of, sadly, is our opponents, wherever you may find them. Let them marinate. Our opponents, wherever you may find them. And this, like, you don't have to fear your opponents using the wisdom I'm giving, because it's not built into them to use this. But your opponents, wherever you may ever find them, need you to be in a situational disadvantage. They're using the most crudest form of Sun Tzu's Art of War against you. If you're strong in your group, they're going to make sure that you're separated. If you're strong in the warm, they're going to make sure you're in the cold. If you're strong at nighttime, they're going to have you up in the early morning. If you're strong at, if you're better off, if you have a great foundation, they're going to make sure that you are uneducated, and they're going to call you uneducated. They're going to make sure that you have no schooling and no access. They're going to make sure that the things that you need to learn for basic survival, you've never even knew existed, and then call you foolish for it. They're going to make sure that you have enemies that aren't even your enemies. They're just too dumb to know that they're being used. You're going to have an entire existence of usury if you don't understand that on every level you're in a warfare, not just spiritual, not just physical, not just racial or political. You're in not just gender-based, not just biased off of money or location. You're in all form. You're in mental warfare with everyone you meet. Not everybody, but a lot of people, because a lot of people are in their warfares and have been overtaken themselves. Like, if you met a chick and she's doing certain things to be manipulative, to gain you, to sway you, to throw off your cash, your game, your time, your focus, your mentality, that's manipulation. It can go the other way. Women, y'all already know. I don't have to break it down. I'm not one of them niggas, so I can't do it for you. Damn, the AC just switched cold. But if you have your homeboy that always tells you private information, or people that are monitoring you 24/7 and relaying it to God knows who, and teaming up together to observe and work shit around you, like, you have to take into consideration all these things. These people keep you at a disadvantage, and the ones that are used are ass puppets. Like puppets, put your hand in the bottom and you control them. They're not of any consequence, and they're throwaways to the people that are actually in power. And obviously, you have to have a soulless essence about you to be okay with such a thing. You know, like, I'm a throwaway. You know, you have to be a godless creature, because God would never do such a thing like that, and He would never allow something to exist without. Like, even birds have their place. You know what I mean? So for people, any people, regardless, anyone to not have a place where birds and worms and ants have their place, it's quite disturbing. And the awesome thing about the Bible, the Art of War, even more modern 48 Laws of Power, or the 5 Rings by Musashi, and all these things acclimated together in one beautiful thought process, is you don't need numbers to win. You don't need excessive power to win. You don't need much. You don't need much. Especially when what you're facing against isn't really much. It's just the illusion of such. There's many points in history that prove this point. But again, ignorance is the #1 weapon that does work on most people. And you need to sit back just for a second. Actually, he goes even deeper than that. I've been on another book. I can't remember his name, but it's really, really, really important. It goes even deeper on a spiritual, metaphysical level. If your frequency is high, if your frequency is to a high enough level above the average nails that the world tries to hammer back into an even line, you will be attacked. It's not because you're doing anything wrong, it's because you're actually right. If you raise your frequency and keep it higher, of course the attacks are going to increase. But you'll notice something. If you know how to fluctuate your frequency, because it's not just highs and lows, it's a circle. It's confidence, there's boldness, there's strength, there's intellectualism, there's you know what I mean? There's adaptability. Then on the other side, where most of the world sits, in frequency, in existence, in claiming your being in front of vibration, which everything else reverberates out from said being, which you can imagine yourself. You imagine yourself in a system that is limited, when you don't have enough, and you have to take imaginary monopoly money to go get things that are already given to you and granted to the original people. You know what I mean? And it's bountiful, but for some reason it's limited. You can imagine that. You can imagine and make anything else real. But for the rest of the world, it's flipped. It's completely opposite of what it's supposed to be. You're doubtful. You believe in, your faith is in lack. You're weird. You're weird. You're weary. You're tired. You're scared. You're blind. You're ignorant. Like everything, you're unconfident in yourself and things around you, and even in God and His existence, which is everywhere. And then when you try to talk to white people about God, they don't have it. And you talk to just general people, everybody else, a lot of people in America don't have it. It's kind of weird, right? It's kind of weird. It's like, wait. You talk to white people, everything's jokey, sky daddy, and let's drink beer, and let's get, fuck you, nigga, bread and circus. What was the downfall of Rome? How did it fall? Not from outside, right? Let me see. Give women more power than men, homosexuality, entertainment, then what do we have now? Anyways, like and subscribe.